we're going to learn how to create part by using remastering. So this is the test 2. I have already created test 1 in which I already show you how to create this tree and the references also. For today's video, I have already created these references to save our time. So if you haven't seen my previous video, please go and check. So I'm going to unhide this extrude, all extrude. So here you are able to see extrude 3 is completely matching with our input part. So I'm going to create offset 0 of extrude 3. So right, for this I have to define the basic surfaces. So here is a shortcut for that also. I'm going to right click over here. You can just simply click here to define in work object, or here is a shortcut that you can right click over here and press F, so it directly goes to the basic surfaces. So here I'm going to just create a simply one offset. So I have created offset for this. So I'm going to hide the all extrude 1, extrude 2, extrude 3. So here here are you able to see this is perfectly match with our top surface. So here we created this top surface. Now we have to create this 1, 2, 3 and 4. We have to create this 4 surface. For this we need to use a sweep command. So I'm going to unhide the offset 1, okay, and extrude 2. So here you're able to see we have to create a one surface here. For this we have to measure the angle first. From top surface to side face, the angle is 95. Okay, I'm going to create a set extrude 2 at a specific 50. I just created the 50 distances randomly. Now I'm going to create an intersect of offset 1 and offset 2. I'm going to click OK. Now here you can create a sweep by using two methods. The first one is in the second tab. Okay, you can use drop direction and with reference surface. So I will teach you both methods. So firstly I'm going with drop direction. Okay, here you are able to see we have to create provide a guide curve and the drop direction. So you are able to see, let me know. So this uh, we required in like this. So for this you are able to see here on the uh, uh, we required to provide the drop direction in Z. So I'm going to provide the drop direction is Z. Okay, now the angle is 95. We have already measured. So 90 plus 5 is equal to 95. So I'm going to give an angle here 5 because we required in a Z. So I'm here going to change the length 200 and 200. Going to click preview. So here you're able to see we can change uh, you can change this angular sector. So right now we have selected this arrow and this is what we required. So now going to click OK, but you are able to see this surface is not matching with our side face. So we have to change our offset. So that's why we have to double click on the offset value from 50. So we can change it's about 40. Okay, so we're able to see it's still not matching. So we can change again to 30. Okay, fine. It's perfectly matching with our uh, input part. Okay, now for the similar way we have to create this face. For that also we have to create a one offset from extrude 2. So that's why I'm going to again unhide the extrude 2. Just going to create a offset. The distance will be 30. I don't know the distance, but still I just try to use the distance with what we have over here. Now creating the offset, sorry, the creating the sweep. In the previous method we use the tap direction. Now we going to change with reference surface. Okay, so for that we have to need to measure the angle between this face and the top face. So I'm going to hide this all operation for your simplicity. Okay, now I'm going to measure the angle between top face and side face. So it is 100. Okay, now again I need this offset one. So I'm going to on offset one and just newly created the intersect. Okay, now going to use the sweep command. So here you go. I'm going to change the subtype with reference surface. So here what we have to do, we have to provide the guide curve and the surface. So here is the value 1110. Now we have to provide the arrow in which direction we require your sweep. So right now it's showing the orange one on this side, but I need to change. So I will click over here what we required. I'm going to click OK. So you are able to see it's not matching. So I hope I just missed with the angle. So you are able to see angle I have just increased. So the angle is not 110, it's 100. Okay, now I'm going to hide the sweep. So you are able to see it's perfectly matching with our input part. So similarly, I will quickly create this two surface. So right now we don't require sweep 1 and sweep 2. So I'm going to hide that sweep 1 and sweep 2. Okay, now I'm going to on the extrude one and what we have done for the sweep 1 and sweep 2. Similarly, I'm going to use the same process for to create here the sweep 3 and here the sweep 4. So here you are able to see that our newly surface is way off than the input part. So I'm just going to change its offset value. Okay, so I just measure from this surface to the input surface. Okay, it's approximately 20 mm difference. So I'm going to change the offset value. Okay, so what will I do? I just simply change this offset value from 100 to 80 and going to update, right click on the script and local update. So you are able to see it's perfectly matching with the one face. Okay, so similarly we try to create I think it's a mirror surface. So we just going to simply copy the offset 4, intersect 3 and sweep 3. Now we're going to paste. By doing this we just try to save our time. Now double click on the offset 5, just change direction and click OK and just update the sweep 4. So you are able to see we just updated the sweep 4, but the direction what we required it's the opposite one. So I'm going to double click on the sweep 4, okay, and change its sweep direction. So you are able to see it's perfectly matching with our input part. Okay, so we have created a surface for top and all four sides. So we're going to create a trim. So simply right click on the trim set and define in work for that face. I'm going to on the offset one, which is perfectly matching with top, and then sweep. Okay, now we're going to create a trim operation here. That's why I defined the basic trim. Going to the trim operation, clicking on the trim, select the top surface and side face. Okay, unhide the sweep to, click on the trim. Okay, firstly select the trim operation, then the sweep operation. Unhide the sweep 3. Firstly select the trim, then sweep. We don't require this. I'm going to use other sides and then click OK. Unhide the sweep 4. Select the trim operation first, then the surface. I don't require this, so I'm going to other side. Okay. So this is how we created the box. Now we require to create this bottom face. So I'm again going to define the basic surface and hide this trim operation. So here we go, extrude 3. Going to check the distance from this top to this. So distance is 30 mm. We're going to create offset 30. Done. Similarly, going to create this to surface. Extrude 2. No, extrude 1. Okay. Unhide this. Set 6. Create the offset around 40. Okay. Create one intersect. Now we have to measure the angle from this face here. So here is angle 10. Now we have to create one sweep. We're going to use the reference surface. For this, select the intersect, then reference surface. Put the value here is 10. Click on the preview. Okay, here you are able to see the arrow is upside, so that's why the newly surface creating going upward direction, but we require on the downward direction. So I'm going to change the arrow. I'm going to click preview. Okay, going to hide the offset 6. So you are able to see it's not perfectly matching with our bottom surface. So I'm going to change its value from 40 to 35. We're going to click on the update button. It's still not matching, so I'm going to change to 30. I'm going to update. Okay, so here you go, it's perfectly matching with our surface. So I hope so. This part is, I think, is symmetry. So I'm going to use the same method. I'm going to copy offset 7, intersect 5, and sweep 5. I'm going to paste below to the sweep 5. Okay, double click on the sweep 8. I'm going to change reverse direction. So all this intersect 6 and sweep 6 will be going to. Okay, so I'm going to update. So you're able to see this sweep 6 is required in this direction. So I'm going to change direction. I'm going to click preview. So you are able to see it's perfectly matching here. So I'm going to use the trim operation now to create a bottom face. For this, I need to hide sweep 6 because sweep 6 is perfectly matching here. Okay, If I'm going to define the trim, I'm going to use the trim operation. Select the first sweep, then second offset, click OK. Now again use the trim. Select the first trim operation, then surface. So this is how our bottom surface is created. Now we're going to create a trim between top, cup and bottom face. So I'm going to unhide the top cup. So this is the top and this is bottom. So we're going to create a trim operation between top and bottom. So our operation is done. Now we move to the fillet operation. So I'm going to define that fillet. I'm going to hide this our operation and just going to measure the input fillets. To measure the input fillets, I'm going to use the measure item. So click on the measure item, okay, and measure this all fillets. So the all fillets are 20 mm. So I'm going to the input surface, right click on the input, open in subtree. So there is a subtree get open. I don't require the input now, so I'm going to hide and hide our trim operations. I'm going to provide 20 mm fillet. Okay, so here we go. I have already provided 20 mm fillet on the four corner. Going to unhide the input part. So you are able to see this all the four fillets are perfectly matching with input part. So now I'm going to unhide our fillet. I'm going to measure the top fillet. So the top fillet radius is 10. So I'm going to hide the input part and unhide our work. So here we go. I'm going to provide the top face, which is at top edge, radius 10. Okay, I'm going to unhide the input part. So it's perfectly matching with our input part. I'm going to hide the basic fillets. I'm going to measure the all remaining fillets. So here the fillet is 10, here is 200. Okay, here is 200, here is 200, and here is also 200. So the four fillets are 200 and the one is 10 mm. So I'm going to hide the input part and hide the work which was currently in the basic fillet. Okay, so if I try to provide the first 10 fillet, so it will be not flowing around this part because we haven't provided the 200 mm fillet first. So you are able to see it's breaking over here. So that's why we have to change our filleting sequence. We need to provide the 200 mm fillet first. So I'm going to provide that one. So I'm going to choose the edge 1, edge 2, edge 3 and edge 4. Put the input value is 200 mm and then going to create here with a 10 mm radius. I'm going to unhide the input part so we are able to see it's perfectly matching with our newly created part. I'm going to measure its value from this edge to this edge because we need to split uh, the flange over here, so it's a 30 mm flange. So we not going to create any feature operation because the input part is simple and they haven't provided any feature over here. Also the holes and cutouts is also not provided. So I'm going to define the final split over here. I'm going to hide input part and using the extrude command. So in which I'm going to change its propagation type from point no propagation to the tangent continuity. By just clicking over here, it will be select the whole tangent curve. Going to click here OK. Use the parallel curve to create a 30 mm offset from that edge. So you are able to see here the arrow. I'm going to put down the distance over here. Okay. Now I'm going to use the split operation, in which the element to cut is this one, and cutting element is will be a parallel curve. I'm going to click on the parallel curve, so you are able to see the transparent image will be going to cut. Okay. Right now I don't require the extract and also don't require the parallel curve. I'm going to define the final join, because we have to make sure this is our final join. So I'm going to join and clicking on the split one and just click the OK. Okay, so I'm going to collapse the tree over here. Going to change the join one color, choosing the orange one. Okay, updating the whole part. So I'm going to unhide the input surface. So you are able to see our input and what we have created is perfectly matching. So now the real test, I'm going to delete the input part uh, here. So you are able to see after the deleting the input part, our still final join is remain same. So there is no dependency on input part. Hence we have created the part by using remastering without creating any dependency on the input part. This is how we have to create a remastering in any your cat test. Okay, I hope you like this cat test too. If you have any query, please ping me in comment section. I will definitely try to answer your questions. Thank you.